So like I said before, my friend needed a place to stay. She was homeless, got kicked out, house burned down, whatever the case may be. I'm sorry she can't stay here, but I will help you find a place as a friend. I'll help, like I said, I'll help you try to get a hotel, try to get, you know, some temporary housing, try to help you find a roommate, any way that I can help outside of that. But I would not feel comfortable with a woman that I am not close to in terms of being in my family, my sister and my mama, or close cousins, you know, close cousins. I would not feel comfortable having them in my home in an extended stay situation or overnight or whatever with my spouse here. Hi you guys, it's LQ from Coupled and Cultured, where we talk all things love, leisure, and lifestyle for contemporary couples and socialites who like to put the life and work-life balance. Today I'm coming to you guys with a juicy topic. Well, I think it's juicy. And we're going to be diving into whether or not you trust your friends around your boo. Now this can go either way. Guys, this question is for you too. So stay tuned to see what I have to say about it, whether or not I can trust my friends and whether or not I think you should be able to trust yours. All right, let's get into it. All right, you guys. So this is a tricky one. Now, I must say, I hope nobody take offense to anything that I'm going to say, because I don't know, you know, it could be offensive, but it is what it is. So the question at hand is, do you trust your friends around your boo? Now, some things may be a little different versus whether or not you're a woman or whether or not you're a man, or maybe it may not be. But I'll just go into it from the female perspective, and then try to trickle in some things that I think may apply if you are a guy. All right, so first things first. Most people would say, or people who consider themselves healthy, you know, with healthy relationships and good, you know, discernment in terms of who they hang out with, that, you know, you definitely should not be friends with somebody that you can't trust around your boo. And that I do agree with, especially at our ages, you know, early to mid to late 30s, early 40s whatsoever. We definitely should have it pretty much figured out in the friend department. However, that's in a perfect world, and not all of us have it figured out in the friend department. So of course we would want to feel that we have chosen friends or kept friends that we can trust around our partners. But I also want to make sure that we're out here being realistic, optimistically cautious, and just smart, right? So, you know, I definitely want to give a disclaimer that a lot of my thoughts and perspectives is coming from someone who has listened a lot from my mom and just kind of followed the ways that she's done a lot of things. And my mom has always been a big, you know, under the notion that, you know, you just don't keep your friends around your man. That's just not something that you just do, you know. And I guess that she's always looked at it in the sense of like, not that she don't trust a man or don't trust her friends, but, you know, opportunity is something, you know. And a lot of times when opportunity presents itself, a lot of people will step out of, you know, the realm of things that they would normally do or ways that they would normally behave, because temptation is a beast. Now, do I believe in your friends being friends with your partner and vice versa, or having couple friendships? Yes, to a certain extent. Like me and Brian, we have couple friendships, not many, but we do specifically have a couple friendship. You know, one of my best friends that I worked with for several years, she was in my wedding, her husband was in my wedding. We've been able to hang out and kick it. They were there for a lot of our relationship milestones, and we've all hung out together. I also look at her as like, she's happy in her relationship, her husband is happy in his relationship with her, they're secure, they're solid. And the same goes for Brian and I. We're happy, you know. No, it doesn't, you know, I don't know their personal situation, they don't know mine, but nobody out there looking for something, you know, other than what they have. Everybody's happy. So I've never been in a situation to where I felt uncomfortable being at their home, us being at their home, and them being at our home, you know. And we don't do a lot of company at our house, but they've been able to be over here. You know, they've been over here quite a few times, and it's always been like family, you know. So aside from just having people over, like going into really the question is whether or not you trust your friends around your partner. Now, I trust my friends in the grand scheme of things. I don't think that they are intentionally would do anything in terms of being disrespectful around me as it relates to Brian. However, would I place them in a position for that to happen? Not on purpose. So when I say that, I mean my friends, like, we don't show it to each other's houses unannounced. If I wanted to go visit one of my friends, I would definitely reach out to her first before showing up at her house. That's whether she's in a relationship or not. So I expect the same treatment. Like, I wouldn't expect any of my friends who, you know, who have been to my house before, actually know where I live, to like pop up at my house, because then there's the probability that I'm not there and my husband is, and now we trying to figure out what you want, because whatever you want, you could have texted me, called me, you know. So that's one thing. Number two, I don't do a lot of hangouts in my house. A couple of my friends have been to my house before. Most of the time when that has happened, my husband was not here. He was at work or he was out with his own friends. So in terms of having them mingling or hanging out around my house while he's here, that doesn't happen. And it's not because I feel like, oh, I can't trust my friends. It's just that, like, I do believe that those relationships, my friendships, are mine. They don't necessarily need to be entangled. I shouldn't have used that word. They don't necessarily need to be intertwined. Maybe that's a better word. Intertwined with him, like trying to make, because a lot of women do that. Like they want their friends to like their spouse, and they want their spouse to like their friends. So they force these, you know, situations where they, you know, force them to hang out together, force them to be at different events together, and all of that. My I was about to call him my boyfriend. My husband, we don't necessarily kick it together with the same group of friends. We have been in situations where he's been around my friends. Yes, I've held events he's come to, or I've had, you know, different things where they've been there, he's been there. And vice versa. I've been to, you know, some events where his friends are. But typically, his friendships are his. I have no place there hanging out with them. My friendships are mine. He has no place there hanging out with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. That's how I get my me time. That's how I spend my time away from him. Like, that's my outlet to hang out with my friends. And the same goes for him. I don't feel like there's a need for us to blend our friendships together. Because I feel like it gets really tricky and could get messy like that. That's not everybody's situation. A lot of people have groups of friendships, couple friendships, and that's cool too. Like, I'm only talking about what works for us. I just feel like it's not necessary in my life, because I have had situations in the past where friends of mine have been a little bit too friendly towards the men that I was dating, and it was very uncomfortable, and it put everybody in a very uncomfortable situation. At times guys have told me, and then I'm pretty sure there's been many times where guys have not, and who knows if, you know, opportunities were seized, you know. So I just feel like if you don't have the opportunity there, and opportunity does not stop people from doing the wrong thing. So if your man gonna cheat on you with your homegirl, or your homegirl gonna try to get at your man, they'll find a way. But what I'm saying is, let's be smart, right? So not too long ago, I came across this meme, or it was like a scenario online on Reddit or something, where actually it was Kiara Sheard. She had made a comment, loosely stated that her friend was coming into town, but she would pay for her friend a hotel because her friend can't stay at her house with her and her husband. And people were up in arms like, oh, she wrong for that. If that's her true friend, why can't she? If you can't trust her, why is that even your friend? Or if you can't trust your husband, then he's the problem, and all this and that. And I understood where she was coming from. I don't even think that it's necessarily that she feels like she can't trust her friend or can't trust her husband. I feel like she's being wise. Like, why would I put, you know, my husband and my friend under the same roof You know what I'm saying? Especially if there are going to be moments when I'm not there with them, and make it uncomfortable for either of them, either for her or for him, because you got to think about it like this. And people may come at me for this, whatever, but I don't like situations where a woman has to get naked in my house while my husband is here, or my boyfriend, my man, whatever the case may be, right? Before me and Brian even got married. If one of my friends wanted to stay by my house while I'm married or with my man and we live together, that ain't gonna happen. Now I'm gonna have to figure out how to be a good friend to you in another way. Maybe help you get a hotel, help you find, another place to live, or hook you up with another friend of mine, something, because that's not gonna work. So, I mean, we've all heard of the scenarios where it was like, oh, a friend and a husband, the friend of the wife, ended up spending this time together, and somebody came on to somebody, or they came on to each other, whatever happened. And the center of those scenarios, aside from them, the friend and the husband being liars and cheaters and deceivers, heartbreakers, is the fact that the wife trusted them enough to be around each other for that not to happen. I feel like this, you got to get ahead of the circumstances. You know what I'm saying? My friend can't try to get with my husband if she ain't around him. My husband can't try to get with my friend if he ain't around him. Now, I'm not saying, because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think, because you never know, I don't think that my man would try to get with my friends. And I don't think that my friends would try to get with my man. I don't think that. However, I would definitely not give them any type of scenario to where it could happen, unless they would have to, if it happened, they would have to figure it out on their own, and not me helping them along by letting them be a little too close for comfort. You know what I'm saying? So like I said before, my friend needed a place to stay. She was homeless, got kicked out, house burned down, whatever the case may be. I'm sorry she can't stay here, but I will help you find a place as a friend. I'll help, like I said, I'll help you try to get a hotel, try to get, some temporary housing, try to help you find a roommate, any way that I can help outside of that. But I would not feel comfortable with a woman that I am not close to in terms of being in my family, my sister and my mama, or close cousins, close cousins. I would not feel comfortable having them in my home in an extended stay situation, or overnight or whatever, with my spouse here. And remember, my opinion only represents me. I don't represent all y'all. A lot of y'all a little bit more relaxed than I am, and a little bit more like, y'all gonna say y'all more secure, and I applaud you, and I think that's wonderful. And if you do trust your spouse and your friend that much, then God bless y'all. That's beautiful. But that is not realistic in my opinion, because I've seen a lot of good friends or good husbands end up in a bad situation just because opportunity presented itself. Now, one thing I can say about men in friendships, like I talk to Brian about this all the time, and I notice, like, in a lot of male friendships last longer than female friendships generally, because men forgive each other for like the worst like things, and women be like, oh, so you tried it, blocked, I don't talk to that girl no more, don't mention her around me, we ain't friends no more, we ain't cool, over the smallest things, right? But men can sleep with each other baby mama, can sleep with each other girlfriend, could have a baby by their baby mama, can, you know what I'm saying, do all these terrible things to each other, and they can still consider each other bros. And what they do is consider the woman as the problem or the trash, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like even with the men in their friendships, it's probably different, unless you're talking about a woman that he holds in high regard. Sometimes that is the baby mama. Most times it is the girlfriend or the wife or the woman that he truly loves, despite how he's, because a lot of men feel like they can really love a woman but not do right by her if they're not mature enough, whatever. But some men have those, off-limit relationships. But ultimately, most of the time, they feel like if you could get her, then she was for the streets anyway. Thanks, bro. Good looking out for exposing her. You know what I'm saying? I can't say my husband specifically. I know with me, he not letting, like, his friends don't come over here, you know. And I won't say that he's pinpointing anybody specifically, but it's just like he's very like compartmentalizes like his friendships and his relationships, and like, this is home, this is safe, this is not where I hang out. I want to hang out with my bros, I'm going to where they at, or we going kick it somewhere, we going, you know. They don't do a lot of like kicking it at each other's houses like that, you know, where they got their ladies at. And I understand that, I respect that, because that's your sanctuary. That's not where you want everybody in and out. And that's how a lot of problems start, because all it takes is for, you know, a homeboy to be like, yo, when I was over at, you know, B house, this girl was looking at me, or, you know, I know I could get it. Or, you know, if a girl, oh, when I was over at, you know, her house, her man was looking at me, and I feel like he this, that, and the third. Like, to alleviate all of that, in my situation, they kept separate, and I like it like that. You know, I got me a rude boy. He ain't all overly friendly either, and I like that. I don't like no friendly dude who all up in my friend's face. And, you know, if it's a friendship like a true sister, like I call that person my sister, then it's different. Like, he's able to identify those. But it's the funny thing about men, and I'm pretty sure y'all notice this with y'all men too. They can be incredibly intuitive. And I say that because, have you ever had your man pull you to the side or speak to you later on, you know, about a friend of yours or a homegirl, somebody you brought around them, and they be like, yo, your girl or your friend, I don't know about her, it's something about her. Or they brought up, you know, like, I wouldn't trust her if I was you. If a man pulls you to the side and say stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, not 10 times, 9 times out of 10, it's something that he saw in her that aligns with the kind of women that he deems as untrustworthy. Probably wild. You know what I'm saying? Somebody he probably feel like it is not loyal to you, and or won't be loyal to you in some kind of way. Man ain't always right, but I'm just talking about generally speaking. If your man pulls you to the side and be like, you know, I don't know, you need to watch her, whatever the case may be. It could be that, one, she gave off some kind of vibes that made him feel that way or made him uncomfortable. 2, it's just something about her that it triggers like whatever type of woman he's experienced in the past, that just ain't the kind of woman that he think that you are, or that you would want to be friends with. Or it could be that he didn't try something and she blew him off, so he trying to get ahead of the, you know what I'm saying, of the downfall. So you kind of got to be careful with that. But take it into account if your man ever pulls you to the side about a friend of yours. And watch your friends and understand who they are. Like, we know our friends. You know which women are capable of doing something like that to you, in terms of like trying to get with your man or being slick, or and it might not even be them trying to get with your man. Sometimes it could be them throwing shade at you or about you to your man, or saying things to your man that's going to cause a disruption in your relationship, true or not. Because at the end of the day, if you're my friend, why are you pulling him to the side, telling him anything about me? If you feel like I'm doing something wrong, I'm your friend. You pull me to the side, pull my coattail, tell me, yo, you messing up, like you got a good one. But to go and pull him to the side, your motives are wrong, in my opinion. So be real with your friends like that, and just, you know, just kind of be on the lookout, because, you know, it ain't a lot of men. The ratio is still off, men to women, and sometimes you end up running across women who they loyalty is to themselves. And if whatever you got seems appealing at the moment, and this goes for men too, because men, man, y'all be wilding in y'all friendships. So just the best thing is to know, you know, as much as you can about the type of friends you have in your spouse, and then have your boundaries, what you will allow. When having people all up in your house around your spouse, that's one thing that that's not something I like to do. You know, it just doesn't fit, you know, my lane. Don't fit. So I said all that to say, listen, I said a lot of stuff that a lot of people will not agree with, and that's fine. But like I said, I'm speaking for me. Some of you may agree, some of you may not. But ultimately, I do want to hear from everybody. I want to hear from the people who agree with me and feel like you should keep your man and your friends separate. That's two entities or two factors of your life, two layers of who you are. They should be kept separate, and then everything is cool. And then I want to hear from the people who do not agree with me and probably feel like that's an insecure way to live, and feel like you should be able to have your friends and your man co-mingle and cohabitate, or whatever the case may be, and be able to trust both of them to be loyal to you and to y'all's relationships on both ends. And the men as well, I want to hear from y'all too. Like, do y'all trust y'all friends? And if so, why? And do you not trust your friends? If you don't, why not? And why are you still friends with these people? You know what I'm saying? I want to hear from everybody, because I feel like this is a touchy subject. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, and a lot of friendships have been broken for this very same thing. Whether it was a misunderstanding or not, people felt violated and felt like somebody crossed the line, whether it was their man or their woman or their friend, their homeboy or their homegirl. So let me know what y'all think. I can't wait to get this dialogue started with y'all, because I want to know if I'm crazy or not, because sometimes I can be a little crazy. So I want to know, do y'all agree with me or not? In the meantime, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Please hit the notification bell so that you can get all of our videos, notification of them. And then definitely check out our website, www.coupledandcultured.com. We have a lot of content on there, and then more fun things that you can get into. And then also follow us on social media at Coupled and Cultured on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok. Until next time, people, I will see y'all later. Y'all have a blessed day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this video. And make sure that you not creating those situations where y'all gonna be writing me in blunt therapy, asking me why your partner was on the low with your friend. All right. All right, y'all, I'll talk to y'all later. Ciao.